Hello. My turn now to be in the kitchen. The kitchen, which have been very busy this week. And today I thought I would do a little video because I've been doing my usual annual thing of picking some and foraging some elderberries. I normally do elderflower, make some elderflower cordial, but I think at the time that they were really coming into their own, we had some torrential rains and it was very damp. And they do say that if you pick elderflowers after a heavy downpour, the elderflower cordial will taste bitter. I know this actually to be true because I did it a couple of years ago now. We had a real downpour the night before, made some cordial up with the foraged elderflowers. They just didn't taste the same. So I am inclined to believe what they say. So I left the elderflowers this year and I've waited instead for the elderberries. There was a lovely tree, lovely, beautiful elder that was growing in a field not far from where I live. So yesterday I spotted them, beautiful elderberries hanging down. Right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to ask the elder mother if she wouldn't mind if I just forage just a little bit from her tree. So that's what I've done. So I will show you. There we go. Lovely. There's about there's some sort of, obviously you can see some there which are quite ripe on there. So I'm just reaching over where they are. But yes, they're beautiful. Black, shiny, full of goodness, antioxidants in them, antiviral as well. So they're really good. I'm actually making Elderberry Rob. Been making it, I've made it before 2 or 3 times, and I got my recipe from the Hedgerow Apothecary by Christine Iverson. She's a local lady. She's done some lovely books. I think the Hedgerow Apothecary, the garden one, and the herbal one. And the recipe for Elderberry Rob is in the Hedgerow one. So that's what I'm going with. So we start off with, as you can see, I'm not going to cook them through because I'll be on here for ages. But what we do is we take about 500 grams of elderberries. They can be left on the stalk. You don't have to cut them off the stalk. Put them into a pan and cover them with some water, just enough so that they start floating. And then you bring that to the boil. Once it's come up to the boil, turn it right down and simmer it for about 15 minutes. And after you've done that, you need to take potato masher and really squish those elderberries so all the wonderful juices come out. Once you've done that, then you can tip everything that's in your pan through a colander. It does say into a jug, but I've got one of those colanders that is sort of part of my hob vegetable steamer. So I've got the pan that's underneath, so I will just tip those in there. Again, give it a really, really good mash, get everything out of it. And obviously as you do that, you're going to get some of the, the skins and things go through as well. So once you've squished everything out that you possibly can of those beautiful berries, then you want to sieve the liquid that's remaining. Measure that out into a jug. You can use a jug now for this after you've sieved it. And for every 500 millilitres of juice, you want to add 300 grams of sugar, caster sugar, normal sugar, whatever you have to have, probably caster sugar or white sugar. If you don't want to use sugar, you can sweeten it with honey afterwards. Will be quite sort of bitter. The sugar gives it this sweet taste, plus it helps turn it into a bit of a syrup. You also want to add to that mixture, for every 500 mils and 300 sugar, you want to add some cloves. So you want about 10 cloves for that. And again, you bring that syrup up to the boil, slowly dissolving the sugar, giving it a good stir. And then once it's come to the boil, give it a good hard boil, probably for about 5 minutes or so, just for that really sort of syrupy comes together. Again, once that's done, then you want to just bottle that into sterilised bottles. I've got some bottles that I've had some sauce in stuff, so I'll just sterilise those. Let it cool slightly before sterilising, and there you have it, Elderberry Rob. Now, it's not just, it is good for warding off colds because it's antiviral, antibacterial, antioxidants. It's brilliant for warding off winter colds. We're in August at the moment, but the berries are ripe. If you didn't want to make it now, you can freeze the elderberries and make it a bit later on. It does keep in the fridge. The cloves also help to keep it. So I normally just keep them in the fridge. You can drink it neat. You can also add it to hot water. It makes a lovely warming winter drink on cold days. But elderberries are also fantastic, magically, of course, kitchen witches. So magically, they are good for protection. They're good for healing. They're also good for, it's the fae, and they're just brilliant. There is lots of exorcism, and you've got the cloves, so you've got love and luck and money. One of my go-tos for finding out magical properties of anything. I do try and draw on my own, but Rachel's, this is well warmed, well thumbed. Her Kitchen Witch's World of magical plants and herbs. And for cloves, we've got love, money, exorcism, which again, that's another one which ties in with the elderberries as well. You've got abundance, repels negativity, prevents gossip, stress relief, and truth. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I will flick through to the elder as well. I mean, the elder, the berries and the flowers and the plant, the whole thing. And we've got protection, healing, fairies, purification, intuition, exorcism, hex breaking, and rebirth. So you can drink it. You can add it to something else if you prefer. I'm not sure how, I think something sort of earthy, some sort of stew would probably benefit from maybe a couple of tablespoons. Use it, for magically cooking if you're intent. You can also sort of bottle it as well. I think we did a hoard box, or we got a hoard box coming up. Can't remember which way round it is, but we've actually added some elderberry rob to these tiny little sort of bottles, and they are brilliant. You can sort of add little dabs of that to candles. You can, whatever you want to do. You can anoint yourself with it, though do beware, it probably does stain. But you can then, anything, you can use it as an ink. Elderberry Rob is dark enough to be used as an ink. So you can daub symbols, sigils, runes, whatever you want to, on items if you want to. If you're not too worried about them coming off, you want it a bit more permanent, you can do that. So yes, great. I'm looking forward to getting going with this. Do need to put this on. Times are ticking. So enjoy. If you do want the recipe, I will probably add a blog to go with this. I have done a blog and a video on elderflower cordial, but I will do a little blog with the recipe for elderberry rob if you wanted to go out and forage your own and have a go at making some. So thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.